sometimes I try and teach people, hey, you got to get on a Zoom call. You got to get out there. You got to kind of shake the people around you and just think bigger, you know?
Yeah.
Here. All right, welcome to Money Monday. This is Jeff J of JeffJCunningham.com. We're here with the famous Jacob Ayers, who I saw on Bigger Podcast. It's crazy what life does to you. I actually saw this guy. I was falling asleep at night. I was reading the 10X book, actually, going through it, which I'm sure he's got to be familiar with a little bit of that.
Oh, yes.
And just to bring him in, if you go to jacobayers.com, you will check out a great podcast that I've been listening to now daily. He has, wealth of guests, honestly, with different knowledge and anything to do with money. It's amazing, honestly. I'm actually kind of thrown off. This is the first Zoom I've done here. We have Evan Carmichael coming November 22nd. We have Grant Cardone going to be on in March, so we better get this all ironed away. How long ago was that when you were on the Bigger Pockets podcast interview?
Let's see. From the time of this recording, it was about 5 or 6 months ago. So I think it was back in May of this year. So yeah, it's been a few months, and yeah.
Live viewers here. This will be on if you go to jeffjcunningham.com or YouTube. It'll be on the podcast later. I'm going to stop it now to get the audio so they know what they're looking for. So yeah, so honestly, I was so impressed by your goals and kind of your ambition. And then, so I do coaching sessions all the time to help people brand themselves, as I've been on this journey to brand myself and as I get into business and really just found my calling to be an entrepreneur. You had one answer that, now I was falling asleep, I was listening to you, and then you're like, well, what makes you want to do this? You had a crazy goal. Can you share that goal you have? How old are you right now?
Yeah, right now I'm 28 years old, so approaching 30, which seems pretty scary. And, there's a lot of things I want to accomplish by my 30th birthday. And, so I benchmarked that age for a lot of things. So, yeah, I guess maybe one of those goals you're mentioning is I want to control $10 million of real estate by my 30th birthday, which is fastly approaching. Biggest takeaways I've ever got from speaking with Grant was, this 10X philosophy, right? Of 10Xing your goals, 10Xing your actions, following up. So yeah, I really love that and love what he preaches there. And that's kind of how I derived this goal of owning and controlling $10 million of real estate on my 30th birthday. So yeah, I love it.
Kokomo Jays and honor my brother, which I definitely will do, but really 10X it, right? Open 10 then. So really how to do it, like how Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts are, you've heard of them. Well, we have the lights over here. I didn't realize. Really just go that way, And the passion for coffee, and you can't even see, usually I do these out in the marketplace. I'll do it at Panera or something. I have my whole laptop all marked out, the entrepreneur journey, all branding myself there and really get a lot of people to listen. And this is
the reason why, like my big driving reason why in life is to give back. And I've always had like this soft spot in my heart for kids in poverty. And I don't really know why. I don't have like a real founding story or some, heartfelt, personal connection. But I've just always kind of had this soft spot in my heart for kids in poverty. So I kind of think it's, can't be their fault, right? It's not some little kid's fault that, he or she's in a situation they're in. So, one of my big reasons why is I want to be able to, write a giant check to, some charity that, that I like in the future for, this kind of cause. So yeah, that's kind of my big reason why. And it's what kind of motivates me. And that's, it's not like fancy cars or big, nice watches or big houses or whatever. It's just, that's kind of my big reason why.
And are you familiar with Ed Mylett at all or no?
Yes, yeah.
So Ed Mylett tells a story all the time about how it changed his life when he went and worked for these, a boys group, right? Mm-hmm. And it's kind of the same thing with me. This job, I didn't know what I was doing in life. I had no goal, just to kind of be in a boat in an ocean. I was just traveling around with no destination. And it kind of stinks that, the Lord had to take my brother. And when that happened, it really kind of got me to be like, okay, I want to build a business. What takes to build a business? Okay, it takes money. And then my dad actually showed me a Grant Cardone video on customer service. And that led to the whole thing of me connecting and just taking massive action, which is now me having a podcast here, creating a YouTube channel. And what are some affirmations you say? Or is that something that you share yourself, or do you kind of put them out there?
Yeah, so I think I kind of started doing my affirmations a little bit wrong. I'd wake up in the morning and say hey, today's going to be a good day. You're going to, make it through. You're going to, have success, however you define it. But so they've kind of evolved over time, and I changed them up pretty frequently, to be honest, still kind of nailing them down. But, out of the whole Miracle Morning routine that Hal Elrod preaches, affirmations is just one of the few routines that I practice in the morning. So yeah, it's just something that kind of changes as time goes, and I'm still kind of working on them. But yeah, I think they're a really powerful thing.
So 2 ones I said that changed my life. I got it in T.K. Harv Eckert's book, The Millionaire Mind.
Yes.
Which is you ever read that book?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good book. It's funny. So when you start this journey and you're in people around you, they're like, why are you reading a book about a millionaire? And I'm like, man, if I was reading a book about a doctor, people are like, cool, you're going to be a doctor. Read a book about being a millionaire, people look at you, you're funny, It's weird, but you just surround yourself with better people. You totally get it, So sometimes I try and teach people, hey, you got to get on a Zoom call. You got to get out there. You got to kind of shake the people around you and just think bigger,
Yeah.
So I say, what are the ones I say? I have a millionaire mind and money's attracted to me, right?
Oh, I love those. Yeah.
Those 2 things I say daily. I kind of look at it, and I had more ideas that I take action with, and I actually just fivered some girls who's starting the JeffJCunningham.com store. One of the shirts we're having here is actually on Monday we try and wear I collect 100. This one says I inspire others always. This is the mission statement of anything that I do on my journey.
I love that.
Because so many entrepreneurs and business owners have kind of inspired me, so I try and inspire other people. So you're 28, I'm 33, right? You're a lot younger, but so when did you start real estate? If someone goes to jacobayers.com, which honestly our sponsor today, they didn't get back to us in time, so we're going to sponsor you today here, jacobayers.com. So I kind of went on there. What do you offer on that site if they go there?
Yeah, I really don't sell anything. So at this point, I just invest for myself. I, have my own rental portfolio. And at the time I was 26, 27 years old and, doing this thing pretty frequently. And I started getting a lot of questions from friends and family members and coworkers and stuff about, hey, what about this? Or why are you investing in real estate and all these things? So I decided to start a podcast. So that website kind of is the home of my podcast called The Real Estate Way to Wealth and Freedom. Like you mentioned, I interview real estate professionals, investors, and so that's kind of my passion project. I've had the podcast for about 1.5 years now. It's really fun. I get to meet a lot of people, talk with people just like yourself, and it's been a lot of fun. So that's the home of the podcast, and from there you can find a little bit about me, reach out to me, connect with me. We've got some blogs and things like that there. So yeah, it's a fun thing to do.
The one thing I love about you, man, is you're totally country, all the way from Oklahoma, live in Houston. You're just one of those guys. I feel being from the East Coast, man. I belong being down there. So many people are so uptight, so quick. I talk a little fast too, but you just guys, and it's you're so honest too that you're just like, I'm not even selling anything. We're Grant Cardone. The book you're reading now, or one book that someone must read, and who are some of your mentors and your influences?
Okay, so I'll try to kind of go back broad. And the book I'm reading right now for the second time is The Best Ever Apartment Syndication book by Joe Fairless and Theo Hicks. It's a pretty technical apartment investing book, so it might not be the most applicable to every audience member out there. But we've obviously talked about Grant Cardone quite a bit throughout the show. I think he's got a lot of great advice. There's some really good real estate investors out there that I really like to look forward to. Those are Keith Weinhold. He runs a podcast called Get Rich Education. Joe Fairless, who I just mentioned, the author of this book, super successful real estate guy, and a guy by the name of Ken McElroy, probably the most underrated real estate investor in today's world. He owns over $1 billion, $1 billion with a B, $1 billion of real estate on his own. Super relatable guy, very down to earth, and I would love to have him on the podcast. So, if anybody out there knows him, send them my way.